Hello and welcome to Multi-Movie Monday. I'm your host, Ray's Universe, and when I'm not going around being an evil superhero by killing off other versions of myself, I still think I have one out there somewhere I have to deal with. I don't. And also, when I am not going around and murdering people and also reading a cult about me, let's face it, people love joining cults. And also, when I'm not going around and assassinating people because I have a bug in my system and whenever I hear a certain phrase, I go on the fritz, I'm in my own little universe reviewing movies. And today, it's Superhero Crime Solvers Day, and this one, legitimately, funny story. When I was kind of like planning out videos for this year, one that kind of struck me was reviewing these three movies together because I thought it seemed like a good idea. But it turns out these three films actually share a lot in common. So we're going to take a look at these three films. And I'm sorry if I blinded if I blinded people. The first one that we're going to take a look at is Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, which, much to my surprise, has music by the great Danny Elfman, one of my favorite composers, and one of my favorite directors, Sam Raimi, who actually worked on my favorite Spider-Man film, the original one from 2002. But does this film deserve the praise that it gets? Hell yes, and hell no. But let's get quickly into my review of Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. Multiverse of Madness begins in the multiverse, with a strange woman and also Doctor Strange in a different variation are running away from this monster. Unfortunately, this Doctor Strange will not live to see another day, and the strange woman that he came with teleport to another dimension. Who is she and what is she? We'll get to her very shortly. We then awaken to Benedict Cumberbatch, who played Doctor Strange, as he awakened from that nightmare trying to figure out just what in the hell did he drink last night. And unfortunately, he's never going to find out that someone spiked his punch. He's invited to the wedding of his best friend, who is unfortunately going to get a better guy than he will. Face it, Steven, once she goes black, she's never going to go back. After Steven is known and well renowned as the Sorcerer Supreme, he's trying to put his life back together while also at the same time being happy. But unfortunately for poor Steven, that doesn't seem to be the case here. Also, Doctor Strange has an evildoer that seems to be wreaking havoc. What is it? Well, unfortunately, it's invisible. That is until Doctor Strange removes its cloak. Apparently, it's a Cthulhu or H.P. Lovecraft looking monstrosity that's wreaking havoc upon New York City looking for this girl. And Strange, being the awesome superhero that he is, saves the girl, but he's trying to realize who she is, but yet he knows that she's familiar. Sadly, the monster attacks and throws him away. Thankfully, the other current Sorcerer Supreme, actually he was Sorcerer Supreme for a while, Juan, played by Benedict Juan, appears and also saves the girl's life. After defeating the monstrosity and going to a local Starbucks, Doctor Strange and Juan figure out who this girl is, America Chavez. Who's America Chavez, you may ask? Why, if you're not already doing your homework or researching, I have no idea either. But I have heard of America Chavez, and according to my research, she's an alien that mostly wears a Captain America-like jacket, the Stars and Stripes jacket, mostly also kind of resemblant of Stargirl, and she has very unique abilities. I think she can fly, she has super strength, and she has the ability to teleport to different, not only planets, but also different dimensions and also different multiverses. It pays to do your homework. I did mention to you people that I was a nerd before, right? So, unfortunately, Stranger One can't really get anything out of America Chavez, because, truthfully, she doesn't remember anything, and more or less, she doesn't really know anything either. But Wanda, played by Elizabeth Olsen, the Scarlet Witch, has arrived, and she is having a dream, or nightmare, about her two boys, Tommy and Billy. Sadly, though, it all lived in her head, and basically, more or less, she's upset about the current news that her sons don't exist when Doctor Strange pays her a visit looking for something specific. I like the relationship that Elizabeth Olsen and Benedict Cumberbatch give against each other on the big screen. It actually makes it feel sincere. But what Doctor Strange is looking for is for the Book of Leviticus. Unfortunately, because Wanda is known for being a liar in the Marvel Universe, she is instead using her powers to change the world around her so it's in her own vision. I don't have a drum set. I can't make a rim shot. Sadly, Miss Maximoff is using the powers from a different book. Apparently, what would be known in the Marvel Universe as technically the Book of the Damned. Realizing that the world is doomed and that, well, we're all fucked, Benedict and Benedict and Juan decide to, well, arm the forces from what they have. They didn't. Dion were dealing with a woman that had shape-shifting and world-wielding powers, so unfortunately, they all get destroyed and fucked in a rather big instance. Doctor Strange tried to be helpful by trapping Wanda in his dimension, aka the mirror dimension, which, if you remember, that's where Doctor Strange is at his strongest. Unfortunately, after catching on to Miss Maximoff's plan, unfortunately, she revealed herself in pretty much the creepiest way possible, truthfully. Me, every single time my family comes over to visit me. For reasons unknown to Strange and Juan, and also America Chavez herself, Wanda needs the girl and she needs her powers, and she will stop at nothing to get her powers. But thankfully, or fortunately, America Chavez's powers activate at just the right moment, teleporting her and Strange away from the creepy lady. So they eventually transport to Universe 838, where Chavez is aware that none of her exists here, and also Doctor Strange is aware that this Doctor Strange is apparently dead. He's not dead, I just kidnapped him and brought him in for my own entertainment. We're gonna do children's magic trick later. We're gonna make one of them Leviathan creatures appear right out of a hat. It's gonna give them nightmares. Yep, this version of Doctor Strange died, according to the movie, battling Thanos, but we'll soon learn that that is unfortunately not true. But they get some community service from Baron Mordo. After Mordo drugged the tea and does some unexplainable things to Doctor Strange, I mean seriously, he kinda wants to forget about it, they wake up in a very mysterious place, the home of the Marvel team known only as the Illuminati, who some of you probably have never heard of. The Illuminati is a strange team that exists in the Marvel Universe, and it really does consist of some strange characters. Iron Man, Black Panther, Namor the Submariner, Mr. Fantastic, Charles Xavier, and pretty much that is what mostly makes the team. But unfortunately, we don't have those big names in this universe, not especially Black Panther either, rest in peace Chadwick Boseman, but they do give us a pretty interesting choice for the cast of characters that exist in this Illuminati. Before we get to the Illuminati, however, Wanda Maximoff soon realizes that she is not a demon. She's actually a chosen witch from days future past, I suppose. Meanwhile, as part of the Illuminati, they have Captain Carter, aka Captain Britain in this universe, Black Star Blackguard, aka Black Bolt from the Inhumans, Captain Marvel, the girl from the WandaVision series, and also the world's smartest man, Reed Richards. They would be complete, but the cast of characters is not quite finished yet because there's the man, the myth, the legend, Patrick Stewart.
Final member, Professor Charles Xavier.
Jean-Luc Picard explained to Doctor Strange that in this universe, Doctor Strange didn't die from Thanos, they just lied to the world about that. Apparently, Doctor Strange in this universe went crazy with magic and, well, killed the world, kind of. Unfortunately, he got his hands on the Book of the Dead, and he, well, fell to its powers, unfortunately. And that's not the worst part of it. He gets killed by Black Bolt. So after Wanda begins an attack on the Illuminati HQ, Doctor Strange decides to try to think out of a way of escaping, and he tried to trigger the anger within Baron Mordo. Surprise out of surprises, it actually worked, which means that America Chavez and also Benedict Cumberbatch, or Doctor Strange, is saved as well as his old assistant/lover. After they discover what a book is, unfortunately Doctor Strange soon realizes that there is a guest in his house, another version of him known only as Sinister Strange. There's an awesome fight scene between him and Sinister Strange that all have to deal with beautifully composed Danny Elfman music, and if you think that that's a complaint from me, you don't know how much I love Danny Elfman. So after finding the Book of the Damned, Doctor Strange decides that he's going to, well, conjure up somebody that he can basically possess or steal the sword. And you will guess where this is going. Yes, you are watching a movie where Doctor Strange possesses a zombie version of himself to go and save the world. Unfortunately, Doctor Strange could not afford to go to Shop at Smart and get himself a boomstick qualified to deal with the assy demons. You know, just because I made that reference, I feel like this movie is referencing something that the director worked on. What is it called again? I can't think. This is why I think that Sam Raimi should have never directed this movie. It's way too much similar to Evil Dead 2, and Ash, and Army of Darkness, and also Ash versus, well, the Evil Dead. Don't get me wrong, I still think the movie is pretty damn awesome. It's just all the references to Evil Dead and Ash Campbell and stuff like, and Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell. It gets so overbearing in this movie. So, Wanda is in turn to basically make her grand appearance. She left out one little important detail though. She has to deal with the Sorcerer Supreme. In a unique turn of events, Doctor Strange tells America Chavez that she has to be the one to stop this war, that she must stop Wanda, and she gains all her might. America Chavez does one thing to make Wanda repay for what she did. Take her to the dimension where she sees her son still alive and not a creation of her mind, and she's broken by what happens. After the Scarlet Witch's brave sacrifice, Doctor Strange ends up saving his love of his life, who unfortunately tells him that he shouldn't love her, but he should go and be happy in his own world. And amazingly, there was another form of America Chavez that ended up being Still, who ends up joining Doctor Strange's Academy. I don't know if that's a Strange Academy reference or not. The after credit scene is by far the weirdest. Doctor Strange ends up walking downtown, minding his own mind, looking fine, when all of a sudden he meets Clea. Clea opens up a dimensional rift into the Dormammu's realm. Doctor Strange opens his third eye, and they jump in. Like I said, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is an amazing film, and it still works, especially for Sam Raimi, who directed it. But unfortunately, with all the Army of Darkness and Evil Dead references and Ash Williams references, and yes, there is a Bruce Campbell Easter egg, just to let you guys know. I just didn't point it out in the review. But we're going to move on to The Batman, a film that I was kind of a little bit petrified about because I had no idea how Robert Pattinson was going to handle one of my favorite superheroes of all time, next to Spider-Man. And you know something? This film was a surprisingly amazing film for me. The opening narration tells us that crime had become rampant in Gotham, meaning that everyone and anyone is going to go out, especially on Halloween. Is crime rampant, but drug lords and also gangs are becoming more and more relevant around the streets of Gotham, but who's to save it? We'll get our answer pretty soon once a gang starts attacking an innocent man, and holy shit! Holy fuck! Doug Walker's in this movie? Unfortunately, no, we do not get that, and hell, I don't think that people really want that, as he tried to force this newcomer to kill this man. The day is saved because Batman, played by Robert Pattinson, is unfortunately onto the rescue, and this Batman feels a lot more like Kevin Conroy's Batman than any other Batman incarnates. There's a masked killer going around the streets of Gotham that is killing people and leaving riddles to this crime spree, And if I only could guess who would be behind all this madness. We then meet Alfred, played by Colin Farrell, who ends up trying to comfort Bruce after his job on a night on the job. And also just let people know, Batman has only been active in this universe for 2 years, meaning that Bruce is still young. I also love how it shows off of how distinct that Bruce Wayne is compared to Batman. That for him, Batman is everything, and Bruce Wayne had died the night his parents did. I'll give it to Patterson. He does a really damn and really good, impressive job of becoming Batman, really emphasizing and absorbing the character that he knew that he had to be. In case you couldn't put it together, yeah, this film is pretty much a crime drama film, but I will tell you this, I love the chemistry between this Commissioner Gordon and this Batman. Unlike the Adam West series that had that good combination going for it, these two just work together so well, and I love the buddy chemistry between them because you feel that they really honor and respect one another. It's fantastic. And of course, on top of everything, Batman had to deal with some of his rogues galleries. This includes Penguin and also teaming up with a pretty cool Catwoman played by Zoe Saldana. But it does also show kind of like a funny little thing, like the further that Batman goes into this investigation, the further that he goes deeper into Wonderland, basically, and soon he's hitting the abyss with no way out. Something that not a lot of Batman fans and writers actually know about the character or really idolize about him is the fact that Batman is still vulnerable. He's not exactly the guy that really you can really look up to and really admire. This Batman is one of those characters, much like Adam West before him, and also a little bit of Kevin Conroy, specifically in Justice League. But however, we still forget that Batman is still deeply, deeply vulnerable, and the villain of the movie, who is, if you couldn't tell, I'm not gonna spoil it, but if you couldn't tell, it's very fucking obvious with the question mark. So, yeah, you guessed it, it's Joker. And for that joke, a lot of you are upset, but it feels so good. No, I'm lying. It's actually Batmite. This leads into quite the mystery even for Batman because Riddler doesn't just go after anybody after a while. He goes after Batsy. And mild spoilers, this is when Batman figures out that his family was behind quite a lot of bullshit and garbage that not even him could believe, and I'm surprised that Patterson didn't really scream when he found all this out, unfortunately. After this, not Batman but Bruce Wayne, a broken man, ends up going to figure out if this is true, if his parents were really the criminal masterminds that he never told about. And again, this is a great Batman film. I was hooked on edge from figuring out who actually would be the main villain, and actually for who it is, it's actually even quite go deeper than that. This is a Batman film. Also, this film is almost 3 hours long, so that's why I'm skipping through a lot of it. Eventually, Commissioner Gordon ends up figuring out what's been going on, or I'm sorry, Lieutenant Gordon, because in this universe, he's only a lieutenant. Gotham City is saved thanks to the Batman, who actually, for Robert Pattinson, gives off quite a good melodramatic performance over what's going to happen to the rest of Gotham City now that he's here, and also the scars that Gotham will have to suffer. The Batman is an amazing crime drama film that really does something very unique with the character, including a mystery that keeps going deeper and deeper as the film goes on, which honestly was pretty impressive. Next, we'll be talking about Captain America, the Winter Soldier, and I'm just going to try to blaze this one through real quickly because I've unfortunately taken up a lot of your time and mine for doing this review, so let's quickly dive into Captain America, the Winter Soldier. The film begins with a routine mission of the Team Strike, Operation of S.H.I.E.L.D., going in after a boat that's been stolen by one of Captain America's most unusual enemies, Batroc. After some trust issues between Captain Black Widow, because, yeah, that never does happen, unfortunately Batroc gets away and Steve is left very confused about what the hell just happened. Trying to figure all this bullcrap out by asking the right questions, he unfortunately goes to the wrong man, Nick Fury, played by Samuel L. Jackson, who, if you viewers guess, doesn't answer his questions. In a really touching scene, Cap goes back to the Smithsonian Museum to the Captain America display and just kinda takes it all in of how long that he's been gone and how much the world has changed. Unfortunately, Colonel Nick Fury is shot and killed by an unknown assailant. This makes both Steve and Black Widow pissed off trying to figure out who the hell did it. The movie from this point on becomes a mystery of who is telling the truth and who is officially lying to the other, and this ends up going places that you would never expect, but in a good way, and really surprised me for this film. It places Steve and Black Widow on a most wanted list, very similar to Captain America Civil War, where they go to uncover the truth of what's happening and why it's Hydra behind it all. So they try to have a talk with Captain America villain Armin Zola to figure everything out. But because Armin Zola is Armin Zola, he tells Captain Black Widow absolutely jack shit. While on the road and taking a drive with, well, Anthony Mackie, who played Falcon in this world and universe, they are unfortunately attacked by the unknown assailant. That's right, they are soon under attack by the Winter Soldier, and if no Captain America fans understand who this is, well, bullshit, because I'm not gonna tell you because that would be spoiling things. And in a good reason, Cap takes this news hard, and he cannot believe that his best friend had turned against him. But truthfully, Cap really should have seen it coming. There comes a time when every good soldier must fight their own best friend. And so Cap tells the Winter Soldier to back down, or else. But unfortunately, Cap is gonna have to fight him. So, yeah, at the end of the day, Hydra defeated, and also told Robert Redford, the Helicarriers are unfortunately destroyed, but the world is saved. Also, Anthony Mackie got to be Falcon and then Captain America, and that's just fucking awesome. So, what do I think about these films in a total? Well, as I said, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is a decent film, but honestly should not have been handled by Sam Raimi. Oh, sure, Sam Raimi is a great director, but he just pays so much homage and references to Evil Dead 2, and Army of Darkness that it's kind of hard to ignore. I might have to rewatch this one a few times just to see if it really sticks into me. But the best part about the movie is honestly America Chavez, who becomes the main character, and I think that's for the better, not for the worse. So if it were in the hands of a different director, it might have been like more better than I expected. But I'm not saying that it's a bad film. But maybe in the arms of a different director, it would have been hold on much better. The Batman is a very amazing, very decent film, and Robert Pattinson plays the role significantly. I am surprised of how good in a role that he actually does with this, and the mystery of it in itself will keep you on edge. Just make sure you have time to watch this one. It's about 3 hours long. Not joking. And Captain America the Winter Soldier is a very good, very damn decent, and amazing Marvel film with Captain America himself, Chris Evans, and it is one surprising film that honestly kept me guessing most of the time. So, which one of these 3 films would I really recommend? All of them. All 3 of these films are awesome, and despite my different opinions on all of them, they still hold up pretty well. And I wouldn't be surprised if this year, at the end, or toward the end of this year in December, that they might make it on my top 10 list. So we're not gonna go to the TV this time. I'm actually gonna ask the gods themselves to give me a DVD to witness. So, gods of Olympus, or wherever, what is my goal to review next week? Oh, well, I got some Adam Family to check out next time. So join me next time as we're gonna check out Creepy and Kooky Day with, well, again, the Adam Family. So thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you next Monday as we'll be checking out the animated Adam Family films. And remember, 20 more Mondays, 20 more movies. And until next time.